Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stencil Sunday, hosted by Funky Junk Inspiration and the Painted Peach. It's the first Sunday of every month. Thank you for joining us. So, today I am doing this large wooden tag. I'm going to paint it with Waverly white chalk paint. I started painting it. I'm sorry, I do not know what happened to that footage. My apologies. So here I'm putting on some painter's tape and I'm going to mark out the area for the stars and the area for the stripes. Now, I don't know why I recorded all of this, but I did. And so this is the area that's going to be the stars. And then I'm going to mark out for the stripes, but I end up redoing it because I started the wrong way, but that's okay. So this is a good way to get this done. And yes, it's crooked, but I'm crooked too. Not that way, but I'm a little off. So my lines are never straight. Whether I'm cutting or putting down painter's tape, my stripes are never straight. I don't get it why this happens to me, but we're going to go with it. So here I'm just using a smaller piece of tape to mark off between the lines so that they will be evenly spaced. And as luck would have it, they basically come out to the correct amount of lines. So then I'm going to put this piece down. I'm going to pick up that piece and move it there. And I'm going to do the same at the bottom again. I don't know why I left this much in, but I guess so you all can see it, because I know some people wonder how people get their stripes even and straight, or for me, semi-straight. So here I'm just checking to see, and yeah, it's off. It's off. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know. And I wasn't thinking. So here I redid it because the red stripe always goes at the top. And here I'm using Waverly Crimson. When you order stuff from Walmart, they put your name on it. And so when I pulled it off, it pulled the label off. But it's Waverly Crimson chalk paint. So here I'm just going to use a little sponge brush and I'm just going to dab, dab, dab. I should have just used a brush, but I wanted to give it just a little bit of texture. But yeah, I'm just going to dab. And I don't know if I left this all in either. I was tired and I apologize. I could have took a lot of this out, but someone out there gets, satisfaction from watching us paint. So this is for you. This is definitely for you. And this also keeps the paint from going under the tape when you use a dauber. And I apologize for my head getting in the way. I was trying to see if I was missing any spots, and I did. But I just go back and, try to fill it in as I went. And I do dry this before I remove the tape. I don't know why I skipped that line. I'm telling you, I was having a hard time doing this video. I don't know. I keep telling y'all, people should not craft when they're tired, but I do all the time. So here I did paint the blue, did all the stripes, and these are the only stars that were in my stash. I'm not trying to buy any new craft supplies. I'm trying to work in my stash. So this was the only stars that I had. They're large, but I'm just gonna go with it. I didn't want to use just one large star. Don't ask me why, because you see I'm sitting over there to the left, but I still just use these stars. But we're gonna get it done because I like how it comes out. This is for me. If this was for someone else, I definitely would have went and bought some smaller stars. I have some, I just don't know where they are, and I probably will find them tomorrow. And I put this in the wrong place, but again, we're gonna go with it. We are gonna go with it. Okay, there's the other stars. They're wonky, but it's okay. Now, this is a stencil I'm going to use, and it's going to say Home of the Brave because of the free. I am a veteran, and I got this stencil from Farmhouse Stencil Shop, Lori. I love this stencil. She actually made this for me by request. So I'm gonna be doing this in sections. So I started at the bottom, and don't have a lot of paint on your sponge or dauber or whatever you're using, because it will go under it. So I did all the letters, and then I went through and I did the bridges for the spaces in between. But it is done, and I'm just talking about how I love it, because I know I needed to do the voiceover, but I was still talking about how cute it came out, and how the O, I had to do the top of it white. It came out really cute. And I did all the bridges of where the letters didn't connect. It took me a minute, but I did it. I thought I recorded it, but I didn't. So again, don't craft when you're tired. Again, this is Stencil Sunday with Funky Junk Inspiration and Painted Peach as the host. Thank you so much for being here. So here I have one of the snowmen from Dollar Tree. And so I'm going to paint that with white Waverly chalk paint. And again, I don't know why I left all this. This is for those who have ASMR for painting. So that's what I am doing. I am just painting this snowman. And thank you. I guess I got joy out of doing this. I don't know why I left all this in, but I'm just painting it. Sorry I go off a frame. I'm just looking to see, I make sure I get in all the nooks and crannies. And I thought I paused the video, but I guess I didn't. It's okay. I could have cut this out during editing, but yeah, I left it in. I did. I left it in. But at least the video is still less than 20 minutes, so we're going to work this out. Yep, so I'm just painting, and I'm all off camera. You know what? You can craft when you're tired. Just don't try to record when you're tired. So you see I come back in frame, and then I sit it down, and then I'm doing a little more painting for the places that I missed. Then I'm going to dry it, and then I'll paint the top and the bottom, and then I'll dry those. I'm just too funny. I crack myself up. So when I dry, I always cover up my paint so I don't dry it out. And then there, it's all painted. Look, it's all cured. Look, it's so cured. And then this is what I'm going to sit on top. I'm just testing it to make sure which end I want to use, the top of the snowman or the bottom. So this is one of my most favorite napkins. Y'all will see me craft with this napkin a lot. With the 4th of July, Memorial Day, I absolutely love this napkin. So I'm checking it to see how much of the napkin I'm going to use. So I'm just going to use a corner of it. So I'm just going to cut that out. And this also makes it easier to take off the extra plies of the napkin. At least it usually is easy to take the extra plies off. Then here is my fan brush that I usually use, or that I'm going to use. I always use a fan brush when I do decoupage. So I'm just seeing, where do I want this? And I'm checking, I'm looking. I'm like, okay, no, I want that flag on there. So I'm going to move it over until I see where I want it. And again, I apologize. I did leave all this in, so you can kind of see my thought process and how I work out where I want to place something. So I'm just going to put down some Mod Podge, and then I'm just going to do a very thin layer. That's why I love doing it with the fan brush, because it lays down a very thin layer. You don't want it too thick. So this works out really good. I usually don't do such a large area, but I'm like, it's okay, Tracy. We're just going to go with it. It does have wrinkles in it, but I figure, oh, that's okay. It gives it character. And then I'm just using the sponge so that the Mod Podge that comes up through the sponge will soak up the excess Mod Podge. And the sponge is dry. So I'm just making sure I go out far enough, and I'm just going to tap that down. Get the sponge, go around. And then I'm going to dry this up. Just making sure I go all over it. And then I dried it, sanded off all the excess. A little piece stayed on there from the Mod Podge that went down the side of it, but that's okay. So then what I'm going to do, these are stencils by the DIY Struggle, and I think they are so pretty, so I'm trying to figure out which one I want to use. Can't believe I left all this in there. And then I'm going to use this joint compound. I got this big old jug from Walmart, and it has lasted me. I've had it for over a year now, because as you'll be able to see, I don't use it as often as you would think, but this is the stencil I'm going to use. I'm going to get some on my spatula. And I'm just gonna put it in. And I didn't do this right. Well, I did it right, but I didn't. So just spread it on. Sorry for my head being in the way. I'll move her big head in a minute. Sorry about the camera shaking. And I'm just going to spread it on there. At one point, I should have used my long one because I kind of dug into one of the open spaces, but it's okay. It still comes out pretty. So I'm just taking the excess off. Remove your stencil very carefully. And then I'm just taking off the excess that's hanging off the sides. It comes off really, really easy. Then I dried it and I dry brushed it with some Ocean Blue Waverly chalk paint. And then I have these little blue stickers, dots from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to put those around the outside, just to make it look pretty. I'm also going to put a couple of rows on the little snowman that is now the stand for this. And this can be a candle stand or whatever you want it to be. You can put flowers on top of it. It will be a candle stand sooner or later, as soon as I find somewhere to put it. I have so many candle stands and a lot of candles. So this is what it looks like from the bottom. And then I'm just showing you where I put the dots around the snowman as the stand. And there is my stand. It is upside down, but that's okay. Don't tell nobody. Actually, it's whichever way you want it to be, but that's the way I wanted it to look. So I think it came out really, really beautiful, but the flag is upside down. And I am done. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this. I think this just turned out so, so pretty. I love the way that came out. That was my first time using that type of stencil, and I think it just looks absolutely beautiful. Make sure you check out everyone on the playlist. Show some love and some support. We really do appreciate it. And there's my little birds. And I just put them there just to kind of dress it up a little. And again, I thank you so much. As always, be happy, be healthy, be safe. Most of all, be blessed. Till we meet again. Take care. Bye.